Good evening. Today I'm going to discuss how can we stop catching coronavirus. Like what is the way, like what can we do or anybody can do to stop catching foolproof method. The science has only one way as of now. There are many, we have talked about many ways what can be done, but there's only one foolproof way to avoid catching coronavirus, and that is to go to less congested or farm area. So you might ask, where's the data? Now, that's a very valid question. Where's the data? Right. So let's look at the data. So this is from a New York Times, but the data is actually coming from state at local health agency of US New York State Department potentially, and it has been verified with other sources as well. So if we look to the fact, so New York City, like take it a congested area. US is the first affected area by COVID. So that's it, right? This will show you what will happen to your country or your area eventually. There's no escaping. If you are living in a big city, there's no escaping. Dead body will line up there. Like in India, we're expecting a crore that overall 10 to 20, 30, 40 million. Huge amount of people going to die because of this. There's a ways to prevent, and there's a very easy and cost-effective ways to prevent this disease. So if you see, New York City has a death rate of 1 in 390 as of now. 1 in 390 people have died. If you compare this to, say, a remote area like Otago County, it has 30 times means 3000% is more likelihood that you will be 30 times less likelihood of you dying. If you go to even more remote area like this, 1 in 62 means 1 in 200 times, right? 0.5%. like if there's a chance of death here is 100%, there's only 0.5% of that you will die in this small. Okay, look into more detail, like what happens if you just move to little suburb, not to absolutely, if you're living in New York, you can potentially move very easily to, say, Nassau country. This is half. This guy, it reduces, just by from here to little suburbs, it reduces your death chances by 2 times. If you go a little more south, little more suburb, 3 times. See, 3 times. 1600. If you go to this small, little more suburbs, Putnam County, 4 times. If you go a little further, 10 times. So you have seen that how easily, just within a few hundred miles, you could reduce a chance of dying by 9 times. And almost 200 times if you go to a remote. Is this just a story of New York City, or is it like if you go to no matter which city you talk about, it's the same story? Like, of course, bigger the city, higher the chances of death. Like Delhi, Bombay, London, Kolkata, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Like eventually, there's nothing escaping. You may be able to control. There's no containing. Virus is a very tiny particle. There's no containing. So let's look into this guy. It's 1 in 1500 near Buffalo. But if you go a little bit away, it's like, see, 10 times less likelihood to die in Wayne County than in Erie County, New York. Similarly, let's say to this Rochester city. Here, the chances near the city is 1 in 3000. If you go a little bit further away, it's almost 46. This guy. But it's not that difficult. Maybe this is a remote area. It reduces. Yeah, see, 1 30,000 and 90,000. Like 3,000, 90,000 is 30,000. 3%. Like compared to this, it only has 3%. 33 times better than this place. If you are living in this city, chances that is 1 in 2 and 23,000. And if you just go out a little bit, 2,000, almost 10 times. So is this just repeated in multiple cities in USA, or is the same story repeated in other places? Earlier we had published a similar story of London. Like if you see London, Westminster, the death rate was per 100,000 as of 28. Yeah, it is pretty early in the as 80 compared to 13 in Bracknell. Like, and as you go down, like, Hounslow, the cases went down. Uh, if you went to Slough, the cases went further down. And if you went to, what was this place, Windsor, the further cases down. So no matter which part of the world you see, or which the virus followed, virus need humans to infect humans. Virus, this is a human, this is now very mature to be infected by human. Of course, there is still a risk from animal, but it's mostly being infected by humans. Mostly, right? You still need to be careful with animals because you don't want to bring new. So we can't discuss the other thing. I will not discuss this in too details. I'll let you guys read three. I will paste this in the description. I will let you go. So there are a lot of advantage of moving to remote areas. Lot of advantage. Of course, make sure when you go to this, you go with your own charter bus, or own charter plane flight, right? Isolation typically will cost 50,000. So usually, like the 1 hour facility is, this is for one room, this is for two rooms, and each family gets its own bathroom. So it's on each floor as well. So it's advantage. So there's a lot of advantage, right? There is like one special point you may not be able to get is then cost it significantly less, though there's upfront cost which will be significant. It depends on how much you want. Like if you just want to put a tent somewhere, there will be hardly any cost. But if you want to live like king, you need to spend money. There's nothing doing about it. These are fully self-sustained place. Like we grow everything. Usually farms can grow anything you want, but obviously if not, farms has everything available. There's more freedom in isolation center. Like, especially the one we run, we allow people to mingle with each other. Once you have been in quarantine for 3 weeks. So we have a separate isolation center, a separate building completely for when you come in. So when you come in, you need to stay 3 weeks in that center, and then you move to the main center. So for first 3 weeks you stay separate, but after 3 weeks you can talk to each other in the same building or in the same farm plots. So it gives you much more freedom to talk to each other, make more bonding, more friend, do whatever you like. I can grow. You can have a good vacation time while others are struggling to in the city. Nobody's allowed in the building or land. There's full secured border and CCTV in our place especially. I'm sure other places which offers services will be similarly. It's sustainable. Plus it makes your body wet. I'll not cover these in detail because I don't want to make this body. Overall, in the process, if you are going with us, our facility, you're helping save humanity and world, because we were forefront of this because we were prepared for this. We knew that such a thing could happen, and what is the steps needed to be taken to ensure that the humanity survives. Like, these were like our backup centers, which has food like for 5 to 10 years stocked up. So nobody expected, right? Nobody expected such thing to happen, but we were prepared. That's we are forefront in saving humanity, and that's the reason we are prepared for such eventuality. So we also planting tree. So there are many projects you can help. Like when you come here, it's not you can just don't you can work your own. But if you want to help us, there's hundreds of projects which we need. Like there are 2 lakhs humans which are dying every day, which we can save. And we need talent, we need money, we need a lot of resources. We even had a project to COVID-like disease, like universal virus cure, but neither we had the resources nor the money. Now I'm taking more aggressive approach and hiring a lot of people, right? And I'm hiring left and right. Anybody who is ready to work, we are hiring them. They just need to prove that. And we are not rejecting. We have stopped rejecting people at all. Anybody who wants to work for us can work for us. Period. There's nothing. And there's no bond. So I hope you understood, you learned about it, and you hope you will take steps to survive. I don't know whether I myself missed going to this. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It will save somebody's life. Again, there are millions and millions of farms in India, all across the world. So there is no shortage of farms for people to run away. Save your life, save your money, and earn a lot of money. There's nothing better than that. Take care.